Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aether Nexus, a very random one-shot playtest thingy. First time playing this by the creators of Mecha Hack, which you've probably seen plenty of times on this channel. Um, Instead of sci-fi and mechs, we are now in a fantasy world, the fantasy world of Eskhara, filled with floating islands and giant knight suits instead of mechs. I am your lovely GM, PieGuy. If I sound sick and nasally, it's probably because I am. Getting over vacation crud is something different that I do not find fun. Despite how fun the vacation was. Before I introduce my players, I'm going to set the scene a little bit. Everyone is aboard the Skyship titled the Aetheric Shard. You all fly under the Hounds of Honor Banner, essentially marshals of the sky. Your banner, your creed, is to fight the pirates and brigands who seek to threaten the inner circle of islands, which houses the Lodestone Farms. You find yourself on your Corvette, which is the type of Skyship. Whether you're in the actual Skyship itself or you're up on the deck within your knights will be up to you to decide as we go through one by one. Introduce yourself, introduce your character within the knight, introduce your knight itself, and let us know where aboard the Skyship you are currently found. We will start with one Mr. RedPandaCola.
Hi, everybody. I'm RedPandaCola, and tonight I will be playing our Boofarog named Kano. And currently he'd be with his Radis, probably just looking over the edge of the ship, making sure nothing's going wrong. Also
Very
making sure
lovely.
that Rune Weaver's doing all right. Just keeping track of everything. I know the Nexus gets kind of weird sometimes.
And as stated, you are flying within the inner circle, which I will see if I can post that in the Discord. Um, but while I work on that, as you look over the edge and see the inner circle, or as you're flying above various terrain, some of the islands are kind of desert-like and barren. Most of them are um, outcroppings of flatlands and grass. It is, for such a broken world, a very beautiful sight. And as I look to add the map to the Discord, let's go next to Mr. Rat King. Introduce yourself, introduce your character, and where you are aboard the Skyship.
Okay. Hello. Longtime viewers of the channel know me. No, I'm joking. So today I will be playing a Bellow Frog as well. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm just calling them frogs. Um, they will also be in a Magnus apparatus. Um, their name is Grauga. Um, and Grauga kind of looks like they're very axolotl in nature with a little bit of like almost like translucent skin with like bioluminescent patterning that changes on like their mood level and stuff. um and they're like definitely kicking it next to their Radis, checking in on all of the dripping chords, and making sure that all of the chord control is just right. Don't want anything to snag on anything and all of that. Um,
Makes sense, of course. As you're working over, make sure everything's right, make sure nothing gets snagged. Let us then move to one Fae Queen. Introduce yourself, introduce your character, and where aboard the Skyship you can be found.
Yes, of course. I am FaeQueenJune, or Vermillera. And I am Jezok, a cloven Aether Knight, and currently down below the deck, polishing and probably covered in arcane grease as I'm making sure my cannon is up to snuff. Blink Fiend is probably off in a corner, watching me curiously. And I am entrusting the rest of my party to see if there is any danger aboard or coming to us. I can be in action quickly, but my focus is simply on my cannon.
And last but not least, Mr. Lee6113. Same questions. Introduce yourself, introduce your character, and where you are on the Skyship.
Hello, I'm Adrian or Lee6113 online, and I am playing. Well, in this game, you've got a lot of different names you could go by, but I'm playing a Kai, which is an ethereal refugee kin, and his name is Blythe. However, being a I forgot. They're not called pilots, but he's an operator of one of these apparatus
Knight.
frames. Knights. Yeah, he's a knight. He's got a dragoon frame with the moniker Storm Guard, and being in possession of the boon of Eversight, I imagine that Blythe would be kind of on the deck or edge of the ship, maybe inside his apparatus, holding on to the side of the ship, but kind of leaning over and gazing into the mist or whatever, the clouds, whatever we're surrounded with. Basically on duty, keeping a watch out, and just taking in the sights, which never gets old to him as incoming resident of Eskhara. He finds it very beautiful, the landscape and the floating islands and everything.
Right. And as stated, you are essentially marshals of the sky. You are hunting down a band of Aetherial Pirates who threaten the Lodestone Farms within the inner circle of the floating islands. And you are seeking out these pirates in order to bring justice once more to the realms. With two of you being above on the deck, being Kano and Blythe, I would like some. Let's see. I would like an Aether check. I believe it is.
I have favor on Aether tests due to Eversight, so I will roll 2d20 and take the lower. I presume favor is just
Yes.
advantage.
Yes.
It's a critical 1 and a 4, but the 1 is the better. And that's my first roll as a crit.
First roll is a crit success. That's amazing. What did Kano roll?
I assume this is like Mega Hack where we're rolling under our score, correct?
Yes.
Cool. 1 sec. I got a 12 out of 15.
Okay. So
Under 15, I should say.
we got a success and a critical success. Let's see here. Okay. So both of you are looking over the edge of the ship, and are peering through the clouds and the floating islands of Eskhara. Kano, you begin to hear the sounds of distant screeching, the sounds of creatures off in the distance. And Blythe, you, however, with the screeching, you are able to see a grouping of creatures, deadly territorial creatures known as driftwings. They are pack predators. Think essentially flying wolves or the I'm blanking on the names, but the large winged creatures from the Blue People Avatar that they ride.
The dragon flying things.
Yes.
Whatever. I know what you mean.
And you see a pack of them off in the distance. Essentially just straight out of Avatar. You know, you got your Skyship flies past a floating rock structure, and and they spy. They see the Skyship, and Kano hears the screeching, but you, Blythe, are able to see through the clearing and clouds and see that they have broken from their perch and are now flying towards the Skyship.
Inside of the dragoon frame, Blythe, he's just kind of like in the artwork under the Kai. He's got like a singular glowing ocular eye, but it's almost, he's kind of like made of like robotics and flesh kind of together. It's kind of a very weird alien creature. But the singular eye blinks a couple times, and with interest, I think we can just mentally, telepathically communicate with each other within our nexus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I would imagine so. You know, it's not Mecha Hack where you all have comm units, but I imagine you're all connected as a group under the banner. You can.
Yeah, I think we have telecommunication automatically by
The
being in the same.
the Nexus, like it says it like straight up like we're linked on a level like almost a little bit beyond telepathy, where it's like
It's like Pacific Rim, but like more than just being
we,
next
we
to each
can
other.
we can literally feel each other's emotions.
So there'd be a surge of excitement you'd feel through our Nexus link, and then in, I don't even know what languages we all speak. Presumably, it's a common shared language. It's like we have, what do they call them here? Dragons, birds, flying wolves, incoming. I recommend everybody to the decks. Be prepared for trouble. This doesn't look like the pirates.
As you say. I'll get up from my seat,
Oh no.
wipe wipe the grease off my brow, and then head up with Blink Fiend curiously watching me, and then following. Excuse me, and then following.
How about Grauga?
Yeah, they'd hurry go figure out what's going on.
Right. As you all head topside, your crew does have you do have a crew. It is not just you aboard this ship. There is most of them are not apparatus users. Most of them are just regular civilians, or not civilians, but you know, they're trained for this. They're trained to work on skyships. Um, there is a pilot. Your skyship is essentially like a giant, you know, regular ship. You know, you have the deck. Then there's the Panda. You play a sailing game, but the bow is the back or the stern.
Stern.
Stern is where your pilot is. You know, I'm just gonna use regular lingo. Then there's the front. Your ship does have weapon capabilities. There are large cannons out the side, um, but rather than being, you know, using sails for wind, they are just straight up like jet engines, um, or you know, etheric engines, if you will. But as you all come topside and can, uh, or as I was saying, your crew also get on like a communication system that blares throughout the ship. You know, incoming drift wings, all apparati to the top. Um,
Driftwing, that is it. Driftwings approaching.
and as you all head to the top of the ship, you do indeed see a grouping of driftwings approaching you. I will say they do get within. I mean, I just gotta look at the distances again of everything. I should open up my Mecha Hack book just to use their distances.
would I know if these creatures being native to Eskhara, are they just like animals? Are they're not evil like the Ogdra,
They
but they're just kind of
are.
like
They
a
are.
danger? Or
Yes, they're very territorial creatures or animals. Let's see. Consider a span.
They aren't evil, but they are a problem.
Yes, not evil, but are a problem. That is correct. I'll say they're within shooting range for anyone with ranged weaponry. Um, now I gotta find where initiative is. There it is. Players each test either Flux or Aether. On a success, you take your turn before foes. On a failure, you take your turn after foes. So we're just gonna open up with the combat as you all get topside. Roll your Flux or Aether, and let me know if you succeed or fail. If you roll under or if you roll over.
I'll roll for
I rolled
Aether.
under, and I rolled
Over.
Aether.
Over. Fail.
Under Flux.
Aether and 1. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Let's go.
Did I win?
I don't think you get
you
any
did.
special advantages for getting a critical success on initiative. But you know what? I'll give you
I
advantage
get
on your
gold
next
trophy.
attack.
I get a pat on the back and told that I look pretty.
And
Good job.
advantage on your next attack. Because I'm going to give that to you. Alright, so the order it goes is 3 players, the enemies, and then Adrian. So,
That works because I'm suddenly having second thoughts about attacking these creatures.
so then, between Jezok, Blinkfiend, Grauga, and Kano, the 3 of you decide who would like to go first as you see a pack of about 3 of these Driftwings closing in on your Skyship.
I would like to go at least before Adrian.
Well, good news.
That'll be easy.
Right?
Yeah, he will be going after the enemies.
All right, so who has long range capability in our squad other than me?
I
Me.
do.
Okay. What kind of weapons do you have?
I'm rocking a cannon.
You're rocking
I've
a
got
cannon?
casters.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, fuck. Either one of you would be fun. I don't know how this would work on a cannon, so I'm just gonna do it.
We aren't given a whole
So
lot of equipment options.
right.
Nope.
So so I would like to do an element of my turn real quick. Pew, 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 pew. I would use the flame culverin or whatever, flaming weapon option as an activation. I can coat a weapon in flame, either mine or an engaged knight. Roll your Nexus die, which is a D12. So let me find a D12 over here real quick. Well, what the hell? Do I not have a D12 over here? Sudden pain. I rolled an 11 on my Nexus die, which isn't a surge, but it's like a pass or whatever. So I will give B2B reference names. A Blink Fiend. Um, 1d4 additional fire damage. This damage die roll, if you ever do like a maximum 1d4, the damage die roll becomes ongoing, then the flame dissipates. This effect persists until it dissipates in this way or until you use this ability again.
Lovely.
So there's that. And then my other action is going to be to, of course, roll Flux with my caster. And absolutely eat shit. I rolled a 20.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. You were all right. Remind me what that 20 is for. What you were rolling?
I was rolling to attack with my caster.
Okay, let me go to that. Because there are indeed bad things. You don't want to be rolling critical failures. Let's see here.
Can you burn that advantage from initiative to counteract?
I did. That
Yeah,
is
oh my
true. I
god,
did give you
yes.
advantage on your next attack.
I would love to do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 10, which passes.
Okay, so you're attacking the first one in the pack.
Yeah. So my caster, what it looks like is essentially like it looks more like a staff than anything, and it like materializes like little like dart discs that it like launches at like a ridiculous speed, right? Um, what is my damage die? It is a D6, so I will roll a D6 of damage. 2 damage,
2 damage. Alrighty.
and that will be me.
Alright, so next is Kano or Jezok and Blinkfiend.
What do you think, Kano?
You want to go next?
Sure. Let's scare him off. I close my eyes and I breathe in. It has an interact action. My horns get a little darker and they sort of shed these etheric particles as everyone on deck feels the wind starting to push at the back of us as I use my boon Flux Rider.
Ooh.
Then I
That
take
sounds cool.
I take my large but still humanoid sized cannon. I have not yet gotten into my imp chassis, but I line up my shot. And I would like to fire at the lead of the whatever dragon bird things.
Driftwing.
Driftwing. At the lead Driftwing.
Sure.
So, as it's a range attack, it is a flux test, and oh, I have to roll my Nexus die because I used Flux Rider. Got a 4, so it's not 1 or 8. I have favor on flux tests, so I get advantage on this. And you all will see the next part of this if I hit. Okay, so I got a 12 and a 12, and my flux is 15, so that hits.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this is going to be bad. And now, because this is the first time I've dealt damage to a foe, I'm rolling my damage die twice.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's good.
I also have a d4 on because of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
2d10 plus 2d4.
Are you shooting from outside of your frame, or is the frame being controlled by you while you're outside of it? I missed that part.
My frame is my buddy. He's yeah, they're just kind of hanging out nearby, observing me and ready to you know, work with me if I need to. But currently I am not in Blink Fiend. I'll probably do that next round.
That's cool. So you're outside of it, just holding this giant cannon shooting.
Yes,
I
it
love
is
that.
giant, but it is not full sized. If you would look over at Blink Fiend, you would actually notice that they are carrying sort of like a extender and top shelf for this cannon. And so what is my handle for the cannon becomes the trigger for Blink Fiend as it like latches in underneath, gets a bigger, longer barrel, a bigger handle, bigger sights, all that. So it is functionally the same weapon fitted for both of us.
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
Anyway, that total damage is, because I get D10s, 14.
Okay, you send out this large cannon shot towards the lead driftwing and blast a chunk out of it. It is still airborne, though. It is still flying. It is still alive.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, well that was my both fires were 3, not 4.
Hmm.
All right. That's important because if that triggers, it literally becomes a persistent thing.
True.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, I suppose I should have asked prior. Game Master, should I have rolled 2 of the fire as well, or just 2 of my damage die? I did roll 2, so if you don't want me to, take off 3 damage.
What's the ability?
My ability is the frame ability is Blink Strike. The first time you deal damage to a foe, when dealing damage to a rooted, shaken, or staggered foe, roll your damage die twice. So I would understand if that didn't apply to the fire.
Yeah, I think it's just your damage die.
Okay, so take 3 off of that. That's going to be 11.
All right.
But still a pretty good hit.
All righty. Is that your go?
That's my go. That's my 2 actions.
All right. Kano, you are up.
Alrighty. So my axolotl buddy here, Kano, will hop in his frame, Rune Weaver, and you'll see like a pair of small discs kind of like detach from the palms before an etheric circle forms around both of them as they start floating around, and he's gonna wing his casters at the lead one as well, as seeing how one sec, because I as a player is also very blank minded. Jezok, as I watch them take a cannon shot at him, so I'm gonna follow suit, and I believe I'm rolling flux to see if I hit.
Indeed.
That is a 2 under a 12.
You will hit.
Perfect. Damage die is a D6. That is 3 damage.
3 damage. All right.
Now, what is the actions on using frame abilities?
Frame abilities.
It should tell you in its description what it is. Like for mine, I have another one that is a maneuver, but Blink Strike is just sort of part of something else.
All right, one sec. Let's see here. I suppose an activation would be in the same aspect as an attack. So
Yeah, an activation is a form of action, which you get 2 of. Um, I believe jumping into your apparatus is one of them. I remember reading something like that.
one sec.
We're learning, folks. It's a new system. It's a new system that renamed a lot of stuff from the old system that it's based on.
Getting in is a tether activate type action. Enter your tether pod and become tethered to your Radis.
There you go.
Okay, so then I'm gonna assume me getting in and then attacking are my actions. So then, yeah, that'll be it.
Alrighty. So the Driftwings. I'm just gonna have them simply one at each target. The lead Driftwing will go after Jezok. The the left Driftwing will go after Grauga, and the right Driftwing will go after Kano. I will need all 3 of you to roll stone, please, as they try and rend you with their talons.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a fail on me, guy. I suck at
Dang.
stone. I have no rock or stone.
That's an 11 over 8.
17 over 8.
Ooh.
I can't believe you guys didn't put anything into stone. Anyway, I succeed with a 6 over 8.
So you are able to jump out of the. So you succeed,
I do.
and are able to jump out of the way of the incoming talons. I'm just gonna roll once for damage for both of the 2 who got attacked. So Kano and Grauga, that's gonna be 5 points of damage. But if you have your armor dice, you can
We
you can
have
roll that.
unkillable. We both have unkillable. So if we
Yeah,
take damage, we can roll our Nexus die and reduce the damage by the result.
Yeah, which I'm gonna reduce by 6. How much damage did I take?
It was 5.
That was reduced by 5.
Yeah, no, I actually heal 1. No. Yeah, I imagine like as like it comes to like hit us or whatnot, like fucking like magical force field just like bing, like bings up and like deflects attack.
All right. So if you would take damage, you can roll your Nexus die and reduce the damage by the result. I take it you're both doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, we very much did
Yes.
that.
All right. Next up, last but not least, Blythe.
Blythe was having a hesitation on trying to engage these creatures as he was reconsulting with his knight's oath to always serve Eskhara. If these creatures are from Eskhara, should he be fighting them? And then he absorbs the. I don't know if any of you even took damage actually, because Jezok dodged, and then both Kano and Grauga. How do I pronounce your name?
Grauga.
Grauga. Both of you deflected that, but I think seeing that the dragons attacking you would cause me to spring into action, and I will. Let's see. So it's like Mecha Hack where you can do an action twice with Rolling Nexus, or no? Or is it two
You,
actions? Like,
I think you have 2 actions you can take. Period.
okay, so if I wanted to use a frame ability, which is Relentless Charge, I would take a maneuver to do that, so I can then strike in the same turn. So I'd have to maneuver and strike. So I'll do that. And it doesn't say to roll the Nexus die, but I feel like the way the game is set up is I should roll the Nexus die if I'm using a Dragoon ability, a frame ability, right?
Let me look at Dragoon. No. Relentless
What's
Charge does not.
that seems so funny. Okay, so I'm
That's a
going to.
passive.
Am I able to fly though as a Dragoon, or do I have to do something special for that? Because I don't want to jump off the ship.
You have to activate your Aether Wind form.
Okay, so that's a maneuver. So I will do the maneuver to shift into the Aether Wind, and then I become aloft, and then I have favor on tests me to avoid attacks, and I can. I
As
don't know.
as
I
an
don't know if I'm ready to
activation, shift into Aether when formed. You become aloft. In addition, while aloft, which is just flying basically, you have favor on tests made to avoid attacks and may move an additional span when shifting, but you also reduce your damage by -2. So
Am I?
one of your 2 actions would be to activate the Aether Wind form.
Does that give me reach though? I thought I read somewhere that it gives me the
It
ability
just
to.
gives you the ability to fly.
Okay, well I'm gonna fly because we're on a spaceship or airship. So after that, I will attack, but I'll just use my my Aether Electric Ion Pulse Burst caster or whatever it is to try to zap the one. And I think knowing through our telepathic link that Jezok just like did really hurt one of them. At least I think they did. I'm going to attack the same one.
Okay, so you're gonna attack the one that's trying to rend Jezok.
Yes. Is it stone or flux? Either way, it's a fail.
What'd you
So
roll?
15
Ooh.
over. I don't have anything that's high or higher than 13.
Yep, you would blast out, and the creature dodges out of the way.
I'm being a little too careful because I know if I overkill it, then the excess energy is going to siphon over to potentially hurt Jezok. So I shoot wide, more on accident than purpose, but being overly cautious. And then my Dragoon frame, the wings are like flying like a dragonfly, so they're really fast, buzzing as it's like fluttering, and I'm hovering above the deck.
Hell yeah.
That's my turn.
Next up, we're back to the top between Jezok, Kano, and Grauga. Whoever'd like to go first, you each have a drift wing on top of
I don't see anyone rushing for anything, so I would like to take my turn to channel aspect. So I will as an activation roll my Nexus die. My Nexus die, which that was not my Nexus die, as I realized after rolling a fucking d20.
you.
Okay, I rolled a 3, which is good. Um, so I get to channel one of the aspects from my aspect table, and the aspect that I will channel will be stone. An engaged or adjacent knight upgrades their armor die. I'm going to upgrade the armor die for Blink Fiend,
Much
and
appreciated.
then I will use my other action to fire with my caster, which I believe is Flux, right?
Range is Flux.
Yeah.
I
And you're
believe
I-
that
attacking.
we also have a hindrance. Because if we're
Wait, what?
engaged,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Engaged with range is hindered.
Yes, those sons of bitches. So that would be roll with disadvantage, right?
yep.
Yes.
Okay, I still passed. So
And you're attacking the one
that's a hit.
you're attacking the one that's on you.
Yes.
Okay.
My damage is a d6. Where's my d6? Oop. That's 3 points of damage,
Alrighty.
and that will be my turn.
Okay. Jezok or Kano?
Okay.
Do you mind
Well,
if I go next?
yeah, please do.
All right. So my first thing is that I'm also gonna roll my Nexus die as I'm channeling aspect. That is also a 3, so I'm fine. And I'm going to be using the aspect of flux, which is move an engaged or adjacent knight or foe to a span adjacent to them. I'm going to move them out of my face.
Okay.
So instead of engage, they're going to be pushed the span away from me.
Sure,
I
sure.
believe that's how that works.
Yep.
They're
So
ringed
the
though, so
flavor
they
that
can't fall. That's too bad.
that's fine. I'm just mostly trying to get distance.
Yeah, make space. Yep.
So I imagine this is like him tapping into the Aether and just like a forceful push, knocking the creature away from him
Mm-hmm.
before I follow up with attacking with my casters
Go for it.
as I roll flux for this. That is a 612. That should hit
Yes, sir.
with a 2 damage.
2 damage. All right. And that is all from you.
Yep.
I will need my lovely trio here. Actually, hold on. No, because you pushed one back.
Yep.
Hmm.
What's up?
I'm going
I have
to
a couple.
need Jezok and Grauga again to make me. Let me check that out again. To make me stone rolls.
Wasn't there one more player turn?
I was about to say, isn't Jezek's turn?
Oh right. I'm listen.
I thought this was like legendary action type stuff.
My brain's mush right now. Jezok, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you out a ruling. However, first action is tethering. I I call Blink to me. Uh, insert the barrel of my cannon into the missing section of theirs. Uh, punch it up so that it's a full weapon, and then climb into the tether. Um, and then uh, I will ask, because range attacks are hindered against engaged and distant foes, would I be able to, while engaged with one of these, fire at a different one without it being hindered?
Um, I am going to go off of my D&D ruling, which would end up me being a no, in
Okay.
that they are all quote unquote medium-sized creatures, and so the role remains. If you were firing at a giant dragon, which does exist in this setting, and you had a driftwing in front of you, I would say you would not have the hindrance because of the size of the creature.
Okay, lovely.
The bigger they are, the easier they are to hit. The smaller they are, the harder. So I'm going to say if you try shooting at the driftwing in front of Grauga while there's a driftwing in front of you, it would still carry the hindrance.
Okay. Got it. How hurt is this driftwing in front of me?
The one in front of you is bleeding heavily.
Okay, I'm gonna face the odds. I'm going to Blink is going to raise the cannon right into the driftwing's face, or center of mass, honestly, and charge up a even bigger attack as it is the larger form of the cannon. I'll roll with hindrance, but still I got a 15 in flux, so should be okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I got a 14 on a hindrance. So that still goes by. It is not my first strike against it, so I don't get 2. However, I still do get the fire. So, let's see. Wow, okay. Not a 4 on the fire. That is 12 damage. I rolled a 9 and a...
Okay. How do you want to kill the driftwing? How does it die? What does it look like as it blows up?
So, this driftwing, which already has a sizable chunk of, like, the side of its body gone.
And if you want extra description for blood, they do bleed like they bleed blue.
Okay. And yeah. It's like shrieking, and it just tried to swipe at me, so I imagine it came around for round 2. And as it's like hovering there, flapping its wing and like screaming, it opens its body up to me, but like in a animalistic intimidation way, and the beam just rips it apart through the center as it collapses onto the deck.
Ooh, I have that. That is awesome, and I have a fun question. I realized cannon. I usually think of cannonball, but I imagine with what you just said, it's a beam cannon.
This is indeed a beam cannon. A beam
Lovely.
cannon that, because of what
Would
it is, I could overcharge to deal max damage, but I don't want to do that right now.
would you say it's special?
I'm gonna fall into your trap and say yes.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I don't know what you're referencing, but yeah, I'll fall into your trap. I'll do it for the bit.
Special beam cannon.
Oh.
Yep.
Aha. Got it.
I get your nerd reference.
Yes.
Man, when
Get different nerd references.
you get to fall into traps and you get nerd references, I fall into traps and my characters die.
That sounds a lot like your own
We're
poor
we're
judgment.
falling into traps.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, as the driftwing gives off its last little shriek of the last thread of life and collapses, I just interfacing with Blink, just nice one. And now it's onto the driftwings.
All right. Yes, it is. Honestly, the driftwing that was pushed back is probably going to fly into Blinkfiend's face because you just killed its not alpha or whatever, but you did kill their lead driftwing. So it's going to be a stone roll from Grauga and Jezok, and also, like I mentioned in our Discord chat, and as I mentioned earlier, my brain is mush right now. I'm getting over some sickness. I thought I would be able to do this entire thing tonight, but I wanted to play anyways. There's a high chance that we will cliffhang and make this a two-parter.
I'm enjoying it, so I'll come back for round 2.
Yeah, same.
Same.
That's
Especially,
an
I might.
11, so I fail.
I kind of came in winging this a little bit, making my character right before.
Listen, it
So-
works. It lets you build more for the next part. I heard a fail from Blink Fiend.
Oh, for sure.
A fail for me as well.
Okay, so that is a d6 worth of damage. That is max on the die 6.
Okay.
If you have armor dice or anything to negate damage, you roll those.
I will do that. I forget, or I skimmed the rules. Does my damage die go down once I use it?
Your armor?
Or sorry, armor die. My bad.
Let me look into that. Because I've been doing nothing but skimming the rules. You can tell how prepared I was. Let's see. Attacking and defending armor die. Your armor die granted by your apparatus frame can be rolled to reduce incoming damage. When you shields improve your armor die.
On 1, the armor die downgrades. On a max result, the armor die downgrades and gives you a parry. Okay, so I got a 4.
Things.
My buckler is 5, so I take a damage.
You
which
take 1 damage.
is that energy?
I believe, yes, your HP is energy.
Okay. That's 7 energy now. Okay, cool.
Is Grauga reducing the damage at all?
Yeah, Grauga just like I just rolled my D12 for my Nexus and I rolled a 7. So Grauga just kind of clicks her staff against the ground as the attack's about to come in, and once again barrier just kind of absorb blocks the attack.
All right. With those turns done, the Driftwings are done. We go up to Blythe.
Blythe is floating above and seeing the combat below. Is going to whip his chain bludgeoning weapon down to try to grapple its wings for the I think it's I'm not sure exactly where the placement is for everybody, but ideally if there's one that's above the deck of our ship, I would like to try to force it down to the ship deck basically. Can I also do a relentless charge with the attack, so then I move into its zone and make the attack for +2 damage?
Yeah.
Actually, before I roll that, because I don't want to use both of my actions necessarily, I've got the trait of Bend Aether. So
Okay.
I don't think this necessarily takes one of my actions, but it allows me to roll the Nexus die and grant favor to an ally's next Aether or Hearth test. So when you're rolling for defense, is that Flux or Hearth? Or I heard you say Stone before.
Rolling for defense depends on what the enemy stat block says. But
Oh,
for the
okay.
Driftwings, it is stone.
Okay. Well, then that doesn't really necessarily do anything. So I'll just do the relentless charge. And it being the melee weapon, it would be stone. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you attacking
That's
the
a
one
5.
on Jezok or the one on Grauga?
I will do the one on Grauga. Actually, no, Jezok is the one that just got hurt. Grauga was able to deflect the attack, so I'll attack the one that's fighting Jezok and try to get it off them.
Okay. And I heard a
Um,
5, which will do it.
Yeah. So my damage die is a D10, but I get the +2. So I shall roll that now. That 6 + 2 is for 8 damage.
8 damage. You slice into this driftwing as blue blood splashes all across the deck of your Skyship, which, keep in mind, just like with Mecha Hack, the knights are, or the apparati are large. You know, you're in these giant mechanized knight suits, essentially, you know, suits of armor. And so to make up for that, your Skyship is basically, you know, a flying Titanic.
It's like an aircraft carrier in the sky.
Yeah.
So is it still alive?
It is indeed still alive, but it is looking like it is struggling.
Do we have crew on the ship, you said? Can I instruct the crew to start like harpooning it and
Yeah, you
shooting it
can
with stuff?
you can call out to your crew.
Yeah, I will shout to pin that one down. Don't let it fly. Take it out.
Okay.
And pointing at it like a flying mech in the sky, like a Gundam. That'll be my turn.
All right, one moment. I want to see something real quick. Let's see here. Can you roll your flux for me, Blythe?
I can indeed roll flux. That's 4 under 13.
4 under 13. Roll your damage die.
Ooh, okay. Five.
5. Okay. Because I'm giving this to you because I think it's cool. As you shout out to your crew to command the Skyship and pin that one down, you see one of your crew members, a Tuscaran, this oh my god, what the hell is the name of the real animal?
Like walrus-y
Yeah,
type
the
thing.
walrus, a humanoid walrus with these 2 large tusks and, you know, a tuft of a beard, runs to a nearby harpoon on the top of the deck, you know, like the upper region, and fires it into this driftwing, which pierces through its wing and slams into the ship, dealing 5 damage.
Well done, Jarek.
That's his name. It's canon.
This might be too close to Jezok, though. We should
Sure.
rename him.
No, it's good.
Derek.
Jerryk. Jarek the Tuscaran.
I still think it's too close to June's character. Sorry.
It goes back to...
Not good at making up names on the fly.
We're back to the top. Grauga, Kano, Jezok, take your turn. Whoever would like to go first. Jezok, the driftwing that is in front of you right now, is currently pierced by a harpoon. The one in front of you, Grauga, is still doing fairly well.
I'm going to take the K off his name, and it's just Jerry.
All right, Jerry the Tuscaran.
That's better.
All right. Well, okay. This is a big ship. Do I have the space available to move to adjacent rather than engaged and still be on the ship?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna, Blink will line up another shot for this harpooned. Actually, for the other one, for the non-harpooned one.
All right, the one in front of Grauga.
But I'm not aiming directly at that one. I'm aiming off a bit. And it might be a little curious as to what I'm doing. However, the the like floating circular stone etheric gates that are just behind Blink begin to blink and charge up its etheric energy, and Blink steps backwards and effectively jumps back to a point away from the harpooned one, so I am adjacent and not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And aiming at the other one perfectly.
All right.
That is my, what is it? That's my Aether step. As a maneuver, move to an adjacent span, ignoring opportune strikes. Roll next attack with favor, and roll my Nexus die. Now, I didn't need to get with favor because I still have the Flux Rider with me, but I do need to roll my Nexus die.
I would like to interrupt that.
I was about to
instead.
also say either
up?
one of us have the Nexus link where you can roll our Nexus die instead of your own.
Oh shit! Okay,
So you can roll
So
a
that's a
D12.
D12.
a D12. I'm up for
And
that.
for your logistics, I would
Ah,
suggest that you do mine because my companion gives me a free downgrade. So even if you fail, I got a freebie. So
Okay. I dropped my die. Here we go. It's a 2, which is not a 1 or a 12. So I Aether step myself backwards.
I love that both of you were ready for the. Well, wait a minute.
You have activated my trap card.
Yeah. I Aether step backwards to where the alignment of my cannon is perfect, and with my double favor, which is just favor, there's no stacking. I fire at the one that is not harpooned and stuck to the ship.
Okay.
Well, I don't actually know if the harpoon has like a rope attached to it, but that's not important. I rolled a 2 and a 4, which is a few numbers below 15.
Yeah, quite a few actually. Quite a few.
And here we go to the far Driftwing, because this is the first time dealing damage to that one. I get my double damage. Oh my god. Okay, so that is a 4 for Grauga. Just letting you know that there's going to be whatever effect there is on that. That's a grand total of 20 damage.
you rolled a D4 on the fire damage.
Yes, I did. I rolled a 4
Okay,
on the
so
D4.
So what happens is that damage is now ongoing damage. It is now lit on fucking fire. Your weapon no longer is on fire though, so you can't add that additional damage anymore.
I love this. Okay, so I guess blink, but I point my cannon at the harpooned Driftwing. I blink backwards so that my aim is perfectly aligned with the other one, and then all of the etheric energy and fire coalesces for a truly devastating attack that like brushes through wings and center of mass for a total of 20 damage.
Okay, you got first blood, now you got second blood. How do you do it? Whatever, however it ends with a charred corpse being flown off the, plummeting off the side of the Skyship. But I'll let you describe what leads to that.
It absolutely does. I mean, this blast is, very lucky, but it it rips through while both of the wings are in line with its torso, so it rips through one wing, chars up the torso and spreads that fire out, and then rips through the other wing. Basically, even if it had life, it wouldn't be able to flap away. It is
Plummeting
whole
into
corpse
the
is ruined.
void.
Plummeting into the void, charred, flecks of fire drifting off with the flesh.
Wonderful. And I take it that is Blinkfiend's turn.
That is.
All right. Grauga or Kano, who would like to go next?
I have a question.
Yes, I might have an answer.
We are no longer engaged with Blinkfiend, correct?
You are no longer engaged with Blinkfiend, yes.
Just adjacent.
Just adjacent. Okay. Do I have something like directly on me, right?
You do. You have the last of the drift wings on you.
Okay. Well, I could do some shit, but I don't necessarily like. Why does movement have to take up shit? Okay. So I will shift, which I think gives you an attack of opportunity against me.
That sounds about correct. So I'm going to need a stone roll.
That is a fail
Okay, rolling my d6 damage for a total of 5.
for a total of 5. Okay. I will roll my armor and reduce that by 2, and then I will roll a nexus and reduce that by 6.
Okay, so no damage at all.
Yeah.
Impenetrable.
And then I will be shifting over next to Blink Fiend, and then I will not channel aspect. I will use my boon, flaming weapon, as an activation. I gotta roll my Nexus die. So do that again. 7, which is fine. I'm really fishing for that fucking 12, man. I really want it. Okay. Yes, so doing the damage thing again, 1d4 on your weapons. Your weapons are now on fire. And then that would be my turn because I've used both my actions.
Okay. I'm going to say that the last Driftwing, the one who's harpooned, he's looking very hurt. Now, harpooning doesn't have any rules, like he just took the damage. So I'm not going to say he is fully tethered to the ship.
Yeah, there's also no statement that the harpoon was tied down.
Yeah.
Could just be a spear, basically.
But there is, I will say,
I will downgrade my next die right here and now. If you know, I'm joking.
Yeah. I will say though, there is a giant spear in its wing. It is looking very rough. It's just going to spend its entire turn to turn and fly away. Which, if you choose to fight and kill it and drop it, Blythe, you are next.
Blythe?
Oh no, Kano,
Aether.
I'm sorry. Kano.
Okay.
So it's still on the ship. I'm so sorry. Brain is mush.
So I'm going to use an activation for channel aspect. Let me roll my Nexus die.
No, I insist you roll my Nexus die.
That's an 8. I'm fine. And I'm going to be using the Aether aspect, as I assume the last one of these creatures is adjacent to me, technically. So I deal rupture damage equal to my Nexus die to an adjacent foe. So let me roll this D12 again. That's a 2.
So
Man, how cool would
two-
that have been?
So 2 damage.
Correct.
It is
However,
barely. Oh,
I still have my strike
yeah.
as it's a different thing. So I'm going to roll Flux to see if I hit with my casters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 3 under 12. I hit.
Yep.
So let's roll this damage die for another 3 points of damage.
How do you kill the last one?
So after Runeweaver's staff points out, and you see like a burst of etheric energy blast around this creature through the cloud that's or mist of energy that's dissipating, the 2 casters will just kind of come out and cut down the rest of it before flying back towards him.
Mm-hmm. All right. As the last driftwing drops to the ground, the harpoon uh, in its wing falling to the ground, though truly the only one that is still kind of partially intact aboard your ship. One was charred to a crisp and launched off the side. The other one was kind of just obliterated into multiple tiny bits and pieces. This one's still kind of intact. Leaving you all in the quiet of the space. Not long before your captain from the top near the steering pops over the corner. They are a cloven as well, just like Jezok. However, because I'm love this so much that they made this one of the looks of the cloven. You see a kind of hunched back, furry, essentially gnoll with horns.
Of course, the Knoll.
And I'm gonna use one of the basic names. His name is Garrick. Garrick, the captain. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going for my second choice. His name is Gur. Gur with 2 R's. Gur, the captain of the Skyship. And he pops over the corner, and maybe I'll give him a voice for the next game, but he pops over the corner and asks if everyone is all right down
Very all right. I
Never
will
better.
land onto the ship. The buzzing of the wings kind of sound like one of the helicopters from Dune.
there.
And then it stops. And then I would like to what's it called? Untether from my
Yes.
Mhm.
frame.
Correct.
And so my mech looks basically like it does in the artwork in Aether Nexus. So I think the hatch is just kind of like the chest opens up, and I would climb down from there. Actually, no, it exit from the back, like the wings kind of fold sideways a little, and there's a little triangular doorway or like panel that opens and can get out from there.
Here the wings literally slide down and like angle themselves to turn into
Yes.
the ramp.
Yes, that's so much better. Yes.
As you land and everyone seems to be okay, Gur, the captain, again, pipes up and says, well, if everything's all right, then would one of you mind pushing that off my ship so we can get the cleanup crew in here? Making point to the one intact corpse of the Driftwing.
We
Yeah,
could cook it for dinner.
Blink will like do a quick like 2-finger salute, and do a kind of slither walk over to the body and hoist it up and over the side.
As you hoist it to the side, it's not long after until some of your other crewmates come aboard the deck. Various species there. There are a few Booferongs, a few Tuscarans. It's mostly Tuscaran and Booferongs, with your captain being one of the only Cloven of the ship outside of an apparatus user, who come up to clean the mess, leaving you all with some moment to converse with each other before you eventually arrive at the staging grounds of the pirates, should you choose.
Blythe is gonna walk on foot to the edge of the Skyship, which I'm imagining a lot more like aircraft carrier on the top of our deck rather than old wooden sailing ship now. I don't know if that's the case or not,
I
but
can
I want to look
actually
over the edge.
share I can share an image of what your Skyship looks like. It obviously won't be a full photo, but there is a photo of what it looks like. Let me just get it here. One moment. While I get this, you can continue. Actually, no, hold on. I got it. Here is your Skyship. This is what a Corvette looks like.
I love that.
There's not much of a deck.
I'm gonna say there is a deck. It's not just because the Skyships aren't, despite what all of their art shows, it's not just interiors. There are very
I'm
much
assuming that
exteriors.
flat at the very top is the deck.
The front nose.
Well, no, it looks like there's like a flat section that just kind of goes all the way across the top. I'm assuming those humps of where the windows and everything are showing is just like slightly offset to the side,
Yeah, we'll go with
much
that.
like
That
an aircraft carrier.
yeah, like the guns. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna just look over the edge and watch the body of the majorly large beast compared to me on foot, falling down, disappearing through the clouds. A little bit sad that our hard work is it's all gone.
Yaga like uses that flame Kavarian or whatever ability to ignite her caster and start like launching like the caster discs up into the air so that they like explode at a distance like fireworks to like cheer up the mood.
Perfect.
A wonderful distraction.
As I untether from Blink, I'm thinking and speaking for, those who are also untethered or who aren't yet. Excellent job, Nexus. Maybe they were some wild creatures, but they could have very easily hurt someone out here. We're protectors, and we did a good job.
I see. It is a very good, well fought, comrades.
That's my alien thing, robot. I'm still not sure. I just give you the like handshake. It should be noted that while cloven tend to be relatively large as is shown by my 8 stone, I'm on the smaller side of the cloven.
Alrighty.
Turn to the rest of you.
Oh.
There's not much else. I'm done with my stanza.
I think
Anything?
most. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say anything from Kano.
Not really. He's just existing there at the moment, having taken everything in. Oh, suppose that this is only going to get worse the closer we get to them.
Bly's thoughts are more like an internal monologue, which maybe you guys can hear or like sense through the Nexus is feeling, but he's pretty new to Eskhara compared to you probably being kind of immigrated over from the Kai court. But he's been because he had the Knight's frame, they kind of contracted him or like as part of them coming over to Akshara, he like has to serve in their police or whatever this in the Hounds of Honor. So he's kind of new-ish, I feel like, and still trying to get his place figured out among things. And so he's kind of quiet still.
Okay. If there's nothing else, we are going to time skip a little bit. Can all of you roll me your Aether, please?
Happily.
5 under 13.
Sure.
A 13 under 15.
I
9
meet
under
15,
13.
15.
I believe meeting is a failure. What was yours, June?
9 under 13.
So, Kano, perhaps you're still just taking everything in, preparing yourself so you don't
Yep.
directly notice. But Jezok, Blythe, Grauga, as time has passed a while and you're still searching for these pirates within the inner rings and the inner islands, eventually you do see an island far below you, one of the various Lodestone Farms. Currently, unleashing black, dark smoke that it should not be. You see flames below on the island, and definitely see signs of an attack. What would you like to do? Let's start. You know, let's start with Jezok. You see this. What is your first reaction?
Sorry, ADHD. What has been attacked?
A Lodestone Farm. You
Okay,
see it
so
on an island
right.
far below you. Lodestones are stones infused with Aether, which harness the flux to lift skyships, float apparatus, and are able to hurl projectiles at enemies. So they are quite literally the life force of your skyships and certain apparati.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. I need to divert us. I need to see what we can do, what we can recover from the wreckage for the people there at the farms, as well as obviously the lodestones. Captain!
He peers his head over the side.
Mm-hmm.
There's a it looks like a lodestone farm down there. we have to see if we can save anyone.
Well, if it's under attack, they might be our pirates. And you feel the ship begin to shift and turn as he begins turning. I'll say that's your thing, Jezok. You make warning of the captain and get the ship to begin moving in its direction. Grauga, first
How-
immediate reaction.
Uh, upon immediately seeing that, like, the ship is like, next to what looks like civilian populace in need of help, um, their like whole like light pattern shifts from like a like greens and purples to like more of like reds, and then she will start scrambling for like towards her apparatus.
Mm-hmm. All right. So your action is to your immediate is to begin getting back within your apparati and get ready to help and defend. Blythe.
Blythe's first reaction upon hearing the call and seeing the smoke is to go look. And then how are we over it or how close to it? How high
You
up?
are fairly far away from it still. You're only now moving towards it. Um, it is a island quite a far ways down.
Okay. I will end up getting my apparatus ready and get inside and perch on the edge of the ship. So once we get kind of close enough, I'd like to just activate Aether Wind form and be aloft, and then just like feather fall down to the farmland area to look for survivors.
And
But I will be waiting until I can do that, basically.
as you get to the edge of the ship and ready yourself, it's not long until you're snapped out of everything, Kano, because you hear the sound. All of you hear the sound of another ship approaching. Breaking
Oh,
through the
boy.
clouds, almost adjacent to your own Corvette, is a massive freighter, decked out in various dark banners and scrap metal pinned to the side of it. You see this large freighter breaking through the clouds, getting all of your attention, and various brigand apparati standing aboard it. These almost makeshift apparati. They have, like smoke plumes, like black smoke flowing from the different plumes. They are scrapped together. Some of them have various, multiple arms, multiple weapons, patchwork war machines. Um, you see, however, one of them in particular on the near the captain's space, or the near the the captain's section, is a bigger than the others um, apparatus, who has a drift wing perched on its shoulder. And the figure you all see isn't in his apparatus yet, but you see a Tuscaran. You see a Tuscaran kind of clinging to the shoulder of his apparatus, and before jumping into the apparatus, you all hear him, even through the sounds of the ship, this hearty laugh as he shouts to your knights. Ah, you truly thought you could take on the Aether King of Eskhara. You make me laugh. And then he jumps into his apparatus before you all hear the crackling voice of the apparatus itself, his voice now enhanced as he shouts out, "Kill 'em all, boys!" And that is where we're going to cliffhang and end our
Yes.
the hang on the arrival of the pirates. I think this will be a part 2 will happen on another Wednesday. Not next Wednesday, as that is a return of War for the Crown. Not the Wednesday after, because that's The Witcher coming back. But if everyone is okay with it, I know it will be a while from now, but should everyone be free on November 19th, we should hopefully be back with the Aether Nexus part 2.
All right.
So, Aether Nexus part 2 will be back on November 19th for the party to deal with the pirates. But until then,
Nice.
thank you, stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll catch you when we catch you. We'll catch you because I have to advertise everything. We'll catch you on Sunday for more Delicious and Deadly. That's the next thing that'll be streamed. So see you then. But see you in November for Aether Nexus.